Hi guys, it's that time of the week. I'm sitting down to plan out the next week in my Plum paper disc bound planner. This is the vertical columns layout. See, last week here, or the current week, today is actually Sunday the 17th as I'm filming this. So let me show you what I have to work with for the week. I am using PlannerKate kit MK-543. So I have the sampler, the washi strips, the full boxes, sheet D, checklists and labels, sheet G, functional sheet, several add-ons. I do have the wide washi, the strip headers. It looks like I wanted to show you both of these actually, so we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the dashed labels and scallops. Oh, off to the side here, you could probably see I also have journaling kit sheet 1 and 2, and I am like so obsessed with this plaid sticker specifically. So I was playing around with this kit in my traveler's notebook, and I wanted to save that particular sticker for maybe some week spread or day spread in this planner. Okay, so add-on number 1 for PlannerKate are these strip headers. She has updated them, so they're exactly the same, only you get a this week sticker and some little squares. The font's the same, but these are just a little bit wider. When Erin Condren launched their planners for the July start for 2023, the columns were a little bit wider. So I just wanted to point that out. If you're using an older Erin Condren, you can use add-on 1. If you have the new academic 23-24, you'll want add-on 21. And I'm going to use these. No, I'm not. They don't work in this planner. What am I thinking? I knew this from last week because I tried this out and ended up going with these headers. We might try something a little bit different. Okay, so this plan with me is going to be week number 38, starting with Monday the 18th. And I know for sure I want to use this thick washi, so I can go ahead and get that put down over the bottom here. I have also gone back to this slim pin pouch from Portland Leather Goods. It's just, I love how wide it opens so that I can see everything, but then when it's zipped up, it fits really nicely in my tote bag or my work bag. So if you need a nice leather pin pouch, I would suggest checking out Portland Leather Goods. This one is in their cold brew leather. All right, let's get this trimmed down on this side. And then we'll get this other side put down. This particular washi, just the pattern of it reminds me so much of the like 2014, 2015 planner days. Orla Kylie, I think it is. She had like makeup bags and stuff, but there was a washi that kind of looked like this. And I think everyone went crazy for it. It is a very pretty pattern. Okay, let's talk about what we're gonna do with the dates since I don't have individual headers with this kit. I think we could use these, but I'm gonna need something thin to put the dates on. Are there 7 of these? I will use these off of sheet G. So we'll put these down first. Hope this is gonna look okay. We're gonna find out. And then we'll put the journaling kit circles over the top. Okay, so I've been chatting with some of you about how crazy busy life has been with homecoming week and my dad in the hospital and all of this stuff. So I'm hoping that this week is a little bit slower. However, I do have several things on the agenda, so to speak. So let's go ahead and start putting some of those plans down. I am going to use these blue labels for my son's practice schedule from journaling kit sheet number 2. And as I'm doing this, I am sitting here thinking, of course, about PlannerKate. And it's about that time when, January 2024 kits will be coming out, which means I'm sure Kate on the back end is thinking about what she's going to be offering. That's when she does like the reformats, is in January. She does not do them for except for like little tweaks, you know what I mean? But the major reformats happen not on the July academic calendar, but more of in January, those January kits. I loved the addition of these journaling kits. I've been using them a ton. I think they're really versatile, and it's just like making me think what's going on behind the scenes, what changes, additions, subtractions, what are we going to see from PlannerKate. Okay, so those are my son's practice times for this week, and then I do have a couple of larger items for the week that I want to use some full boxes on. And I'm going to use obviously this sheet A, and have to incorporate this plaid pattern. And on Monday evening, I have a sorority dinner and our monthly meeting. So I think I'm just going to write over this with one of these dash labels. Now I know that this says 6:30. That's like the time that our meeting is going to start, but we are doing like a dinner pickup before, so really I'm going to be there much earlier than 6:30, and my husband will probably be taking care of practice that night. And then let's decide what we're going to do for work meetings, because I do have a work meeting on Tuesday. I think since I only have 3 meetings scheduled this week, I'm going to use these half boxes. I think they're really less than a half box, maybe like a third box. So that first one's going to be on Tuesday. I'm really just looking forward to Monday morning and sitting down in my office and getting some things knocked out and not having a lot of extra meetings going on. So hopefully Monday is going to be a productive day for me. And then on Thursday, I have another meeting. This one is a speech IEP. And since it's the same time, I'll try to line that up on the same line in the planner, hopefully straight, because that was first attempt was very crooked, still crooked. There we go, looks a little bit better. And then Friday, my last meeting of the week is at 1 o'clock, and that will be an EDC and most likely an IEP meeting as well. And that is on Friday. Okay, so work meetings are down. Let's see what else I have for Tuesday. It's actually my son's Ninja Star. They take photos for Taekwondo, and we signed him up for a session. They turned out really well last year. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down on one of these scallops. And then Tuesday night, I have another meeting. We were supposed to have our September PTO meeting on the 12th, and some things came up for a lot of people, so we moved it to this week, but that will be at the same time, just a different week. And again, just keeping things lined up with the same time slots across the week. And then Thursday evening, I do have a game to work, so I'll use another full box. And I think I want to do this striped version. And we'll keep it consistent and use another one of these labels. And then Friday morning is our problem solving team meeting, and I'm going to use, let's break up some of the colors here. We'll go with this flower pattern. And use up our last olive dash label. Such a pretty color combination, I think, on this kit. And then moving on into the weekend, I want to get that journaling sheet torn washi that I was swooning over and see if we can use that. Might have to trim it down just a little bit, but we're going to put that up here. And I think put the weekend banner over that. I know it's a lot. It's a pretty large sticker in comparison to some of the other stickers that I use for like appointment labels, but I just love it so much I had to incorporate it into this weekly spread. And then we should, oh, I used the weekend banner off of this, so I'll have to dig out maybe a weekend banner out of my stash here in a minute, but let's just keep going with the actual plans for the weekend. So on Saturday evening, we do have a church wiener roast hayride. It's one of my favorite things we do every year, probably just because I love fall and getting to be with all my church friends and family. And let's see what we have left as far as labels. Might use some of these rectangles off of functional sheet G. I think that works well. And then actually Saturday morning, you guys were kind of teasing me. Cheese ball decisions have to be made, and they were made. And I have to actually go pick up the pecans for our cheese ball making because we buy a bunch, but I have to go pick those up very early in the morning. Well, I say very early, 6:30, but it's out of town and I have to drive, so it's going to be an early start of my day on Saturday. Okay, also, this is the first day of fall, which I thought was conveniently nice for our wiener roast. But I did have some holiday stickers in here. I found this really old one when I was cleaning out my stash, and I wanted to mark the first day of fall with that. So, wonder if I can kind of put that here, the larger one, instead of the weekend banner. That might be an idea. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I like that. But yeah, very old, just wanted to use it, so I'm glad I remembered to do that. Okay, now let's talk about content for the week, and I think I will use these brushstroke headers for that. So Monday's video is actually my PlannerKate favorites. And then Thursday's video, as always, is this weekly plan with me. What did we say? This was week 38. And it is mini kit 543. Get that down up here in this little extra lined slot in the planner. And then we need to put in some cleaning tasks. And I've been really enjoying using these third ombre boxes for that. So let's see where we were at with zone cleaning. We did do the master bedroom. So this week should be extras, which would be my office and my son's room. So really that will be just like dusting, vacuuming, windows, and just tidying things up and putting them back where they belong. Now looking at this, that will probably have to happen on Wednesday. And then for the weekly reset, we'll do the same thing. So we do always do a Walmart pickup order just so we have groceries for the week. Wash and fuel the vehicles. Empty the fridge of leftovers. And then empty all of the trash cans so my husband can take those out to the curb. And that will probably be, oh, to be honest with you, probably Saturday between like this pecan pickup and going out to the wiener roast. Try to squeeze that in. And then seeing this, we do need to put church items in. And I'm going to use these flags off of Journaling Kit Sheet 2, just the single-sided flags. So Wednesday will be small group. And then Sunday we'll have a small group in the morning, followed by the sermon at 9:30. Let's get those put down. And then of course this one goes on Wednesday. And it looks like the only thing I have left for the weekly spread is the sidebar area. I did really like how this looked using the regular size washi, and I think we will do the same thing. This washi is really pretty, or I could use, actually I'm going to use the rest of this strip. I had used this in my traveler's notebook and saved that little piece. And then I need, where are they? Here we go. We need this for the PlannerKate challenge. So that's gonna go down here, and I just line that up with the bottom edge of this washi. And then I'm gonna put this regular size washi above that. And then let's see what we have. Might do a flag up there with some sort of quote. I had one more flag left on this functional sheet. See if that covers. I think if I line it up right at the top of the September header, yeah, that works. We'll do that. And then let's fill out this. We'll use a skinny label off of functional sheet G. So on this flag, I did pull this QT24. Happiness is a pot of coffee and a really good book. We're just gonna put that down over this flag. And then we'll label this to do. And this one, PlannerKate. And then let me look back at my sidebar from last week and see if everything got done. It did not. So I need a gift for my secret sister, which will be perfect to do that and have it ready for our meeting on Monday. I do need to do some transfers for our budget. And I do have a giveaway still to mail. It's in my car. It just has not happened because of my dad being in the hospital and all those things I was talking about. Every time I went to the post office, they were closed. And then church week 38. No, it would be 37. I'm doing last week's info. So I think that's really it for this sidebar, other than I like to put the week number and my kit down. So I use an orange dash for that, which seems kind of crazy to put it here, but I did put it on Thursday as well because that is the actual day that this video will go live, and this is just kind of keeping me on track for what week we're at in the year for like an overall picture. Okay guys, I think that that is a good outline for the week. Of course, as always, I'll come back in and kind of fill things in as the week progresses, but I really love how this turned out. I'm glad I incorporated this and did something a little different rather than just the weekend banner. And I just really love the blue color, especially on this. So I hope you enjoyed this plan with me, and I will see you back next week.